Welcome to the banter. I'm Dave. That's Hobbsy. Hobbsy, well, there's only really one thing to talk about
Oh,
today, since we are some wrestling geeks ourselves.
yeah,
WrestleMania 41.
yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I thought it sucked.
Yeah?
I honestly, like, I don't even know how to explain how pissed off I was about it. Like, to put it bluntly, like, night one, like, kind of had high hopes, and then it just got, I don't know. I just didn't think anything was that good. I mean, I couldn't get hyped either. Like, last year, if you think about it, like, the Bloodline hype and, like, Cody hype and everything, like, that was so well
Yeah.
built. Like, they just kept building it up, and, like, they got everybody involved, and, like, I don't know, man. This one was just kind of like, I feel like they did such a good job with, like, war games and, like,
Yeah.
you know, some of those matches leading up to it that they kind of just lost all their, like, thunder a little bit. So, I mean, the triple threat, like, if you're like us, if you didn't see, like, Heyman jumping on with
Yeah.
Rollins, like, then you clearly haven't been watching. Like, it is obvious that was going to happen. Cargill nip slip was pretty cool, but definitely Botchamania, that was terrible. Man, I don't like, I can't, I don't know, man. Night two, I mean, I'm glad Cena won. Like, you and me talked about this last night. Like, I wanted Cena to win, and, like, it gave me vibes of Rock Hogan
Yeah.
WrestleMania. So, like, Cena turns bad guy. He gets booed for what, two of their back and forth on the mic
Yeah.
for a couple weeks, and then, like, last night was totally over. Like, they couldn't hide the booze for Rhodes. Like, it was, and, like I've said, you and me, this. I'm not a huge Rhodes guy. I would have never took the belt off Roman, to be honest. I don't give a shit if it was 790,000 days with it. But
Yeah.
I mean, but the fact that you have Rock in that part of that, and he's not there. Travis Scott's the best thing you bring out. I thought night two.
Horrible.
Yeah, I thought night two. I literally, like I said, my favorite part of night two was Joe Hendry. I thought that was awesome. And then when Orton did the Joe Hendry, that was great. And then
Oh, that was pretty
that was
epic.
wonderful. And then when Stone Cold, wrecked the four wheeler into the lady, that was
Oh,
pretty funny.
well,
But
yeah,
I just didn't like it.
my take,
I'm eating cookies. Don't mind me. Got some of those Post Malone snips.
I would.
Oreo.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, they're good.
I would say, for the casual fan, you probably left unsatisfied.
Absolutely.
I think that's the novice type fan. Diehard fans who, like myself and yourself, who really kind of get into it and get geeked out about it, we felt unsatisfied.
Yeah,
I felt like, how do I put it? Felt like I called for a hooker.
Yeah.
And I was drugged and had my money stolen.
Not bad. It's an analogy.
That night one, I think after Jay won the match, which I think a lot of people wrestling fans are starting to become so wishy washy. 2 years ago, they're wanting him to take the title.
Yeah.
Now there's mixed emotions about it. There's people who absolutely don't like it, say he's mid, which, if you look at a lot of wrestlers nowadays, a lot of them are very same skill set.
Yeah.
Just uses the same 4 or 5 moves.
Yeah.
They're just very powerful.
Yeah. I mean, and you think about it, if you want to go, just to piggyback off that real quick before we get back into that, if you want to go watch, like, wrestling like it's theater, like truly enjoy the wrestling skills of wrestling, go watch AEW. That's what it's for. Go watch that. That's where all of the wrestlers are, but not the actors or the
theatrics.
storylines. Yeah, exactly. Not what you enjoy watching
Yeah,
that comes with it. And that's go
I
watch AEW if you want to watch that shit.
I love that he won. I think he has put in the body of work. I think he's been around for a long time.
I love it.
I love that he won. I hate how he won it, if that
Oh
makes
yeah,
any sense.
yeah. They just
I would have rather had Gunther you put him to sleep.
agreed. Yeah.
I would have rather you like use his own move. You saw some new skill sets from Jay, sort of say you saw the power bomb.
Mhm.
You saw a couple, other moves that you never see him do,
Mhm.
stuff like that. I got a lot of that Rocky vibe,
Yeah.
and then kept hitting him, and he kept like that old Hulk Hogan, like,
Yep.
and then
Yeah.
I got a lot of that, which I think um, they're going to have to rework his character a little bit.
Yeah. For
I,
sure.
I
For sure.
I think they need to do that. I love the fact that out of everybody, he kind of pulled himself away from the Bloodline story, except for War Games. He came
Yeah.
back,
But
did what he had to do, then he went on his way.
and he's
Um,
got the Danielson vibe, like Danielson
yeah,
vibes, like the yes moment, the yeet.
yeah,
Everyone does it. It's great. I love. It's the most fan interaction out of anything.
yeah,
And I mean, and then on if he's on, you know, if he's a SmackDown champion,
yeah,
all of your big guns are all on Raw due to Netflix. So I mean,
yeah,
you put him with guys that can kind of wrestle a little bit, stronger characters, and
yeah.
he can have a pretty good little run. Now, probably won't
I
get
don't
past
think
it.
they'll give it to him.
No, no. I
I,
think it'll be on. You know, I
I
can't
hope
imagine.
it's not as fast as they did Kofi.
Right. I think they'll give him a
Is he a
little bit.
transitional?
Yeah.
Is this a hey, you've done it for so long, we're going to give you your flowers?
Yeah.
And I think he understands that, and
Yeah.
that's fine. I'm sure he's okay with it.
I'd be good
Uh,
with a ride till SummerSlam.
right till something. I'd ride to SummerSlam. That's the next big PLE.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, I was happy for him. Hate how it ended. I felt a little like really like
Yeah.
you have Gunther built up to be almost Brock Lesnar-ish
Yeah.
with the power, and then he taps out to a sleeper hold.
Right.
Comes off very weak.
Does.
Let's see what else. Night one, the tag team titles
Trash.
didn't care for.
Trash.
I would have. I would honestly what I'd love to see was New Day versus the Street Profits.
Oh yeah. That had a little bit
I
more.
I thought that would have been a banger.
It'd have been more. Yes. It had more flair,
Or you would have had
more
more of a.
charisma.
I thought, or you would have had a little TLC action
For sure.
for the tag
Yeah.
titles.
For sure. Something to make it relevant.
But I think it was hard to follow after the excitement of Jay winning.
Yeah.
And that's what was hard with having the main events that they had and how they chose to book them and where they chose to put them on the card.
Yeah.
It's like you put, the triple threat was going to be the biggest main event, it's going to be the huge main event. I think it was better than night two, of course.
Oh yeah. And
Um, you know, Naomi and Jade, it was like I thought it was going to be. It was Botch City.
awful.
Uh,
It's awful.
Jade looks powerful and quick. Naomi looks slow.
Oh yeah.
And there was times like Jade was standing there waiting for Naomi to
Yep.
do a move.
For the exchange.
Now
Yeah.
there was some cool ass counters that Jade did
Yeah.
catching her, and when she pulled her up and like put her into the power slam, however she caught her,
Mm-hmm.
and like that was some cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. They had some
But
good like.
you almost had to go power for power with Jade.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Naomi wasn't quite power for power.
We
And
need it. We're gonna need a Jade Rhea Ripley.
that's what I was getting ready to say.
We need a
You
Jade
need
Rhea.
someone like Rhea,
Mhm.
Rhea and Jade together because you're getting power on power.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
You could almost say Jading and Bianca, but I think what was weird, and I was I read something on this and some of the blogs and stuff after everything, and it's just like I think the lead up to WrestleMania 41 was kind of down because they did take they took the shows on the road across seas.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was hard. I don't care what you say. It was hard when they brought it back. Was it 2 weeks ago back to the States and have like American crowds
Hmm.
fall flat.
Yes,
Them crowds overseas
they
and
go hard.
they go hard.
Yeah.
You have the crowds and it's just hard to bring that energy when there's no crowd reaction.
No, that's you're
Now I
right.
thought, Jade's entrance with the weatherman, uh, the weather guy, the big weather guy,
Yeah, that was cool.
that was pretty cool.
That was cool.
Those two matches could have did without the Americano
That's
and Ray Phoenix should
yes.
have just been dropped altogether.
Yeah, as soon as Mysterio got hurt, I'm like, nah, that's stupid.
I unless it was to me when they brought Ray in, I thought that was going to be okay.
Hmm.
But I think what was happening is I was looking for interference or some types of shenanigans in that match,
Yep.
and nothing happened. Other than the very beginning when uh, uh, one wrestler kind of hit Chad Gable, or you know, at the beginning of the match, that was about it.
Yeah, it was
Like
just
it was it was very poor. I'm sure that having Ray out kind of played with that a little bit. And I will say they gave Ray Phoenix a spot to shine,
hmm.
and I think he did that to shows that he could handle. He's going to be able to come in and handle what WWE has to offer.
Yeah. And it's only a matter of time till him and Penta or
Yeah,
the Lucha Brothers. I mean,
uh,
that's the whole point.
Jacob and LA Knight was an absolute banger.
That one was good. Like,
LA Knight coming in with the Maserati,
yep, that was a good one.
absolutely just
Yep.
tough. It's going to be hard to find someone who can't not work good with Jacob.
No, he's good.
He is just that good.
Yeah, he's good.
And he has the skill set. He has the power. And he was everything to me what Umaga was back in the
Yeah.
day.
And
A
see,
lot
they
of
have
people may
him.
not know.
They
He
have him
just,
set up to be like the heel,
yeah,
and I don't think he's gonna work.
it's everybody.
Like,
He's too over.
no, like that's the problem with like these days. Like that's Cena last night. Like most of the
I,
heels that are actually like awesome,
yeah.
the fans love them. You can't. It doesn't
Well,
work.
you see, when
Roman
you
changed the
when
whole
you go
thing.
down that line, that's what I said is, I think, and we'll kind of finish that one. Well, I'll come back and touch on that. Uh, Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton was okay.
Yeah, I'm just glad Tiffany won.
I am glad Tiffany won. I got a little worried there. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I'm not a Charlotte. I'm done with that.
I think it was the crowd. I think crowds are starting to let people know how they feel.
Yeah, a lot.
I think that threw Charlotte off because
Yeah.
she's not used to. I mean, she's used to getting booed at times, but not
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah, they just not having it.
I think it came out. It started off. It seemed very personal, and then it became. Like. It looked to me like Tiffany was trying to carry her,
Hmm.
but Charlotte's ego was like, no,
Nope,
uh,
nope.
I'm the bigger star, and they could say what they want and say, oh well, Charlotte got her over. Uh,
I think she was
I
already
think
over.
Charlotte had there was no choice. I mean,
Yeah,
you had to.
yeah, for sure. I don't.
And
I
then I just, I don't know, man. That match right there, I was like, okay, got it. It was starting to get a little better, and then the triple threat match was just. If you do like we talked, like you said, people like yourself and myself who really pay attention to it and see. We saw Heyman turning.
Oh yeah.
It was coming. Now, the one thing I will give Triple H is there's always a story amongst the story.
Mm-hmm.
So, do I think he's going to automatically go, okay, now I'm going after a title?
Yeah.
I don't. I think it's going to be CM Punk first.
It's gotta be. Gotta be.
Yeah, I think.
Gotta be.
I think Roman goes away. Roman's going to go away for a while. I think CM Punk is. That's going to be the next build up. You're going to get CM Punk and Seth. And then I think you will start to see stuff play out a little more after that feud.
Yeah. I think
Uh, but going back to what you're saying, man, it's like I think everybody loves the villain.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
tried to sell Rhea as a villain,
Yeah, it didn't work.
but she's too over.
Yep. Priest couldn't be one.
Priest is now they try and that's where I go. If you're new to wrestling, young kids, we will understand where we go. Stone Cold was that way.
Yeah.
It didn't matter
Started
what
it
that
all.
guy did. He
Started it
was
all.
he was a heel. He was a face. They loved him regardless.
Razor Ramon.
Rock was another
Rock.
one.
Yeah.
They were Triple H was that way
Yeah. DX was heel for a while.
for a while.
And you're like, still awesome. Orton.
Yeah. Night one, man, I think the triple threat match is what everybody's expecting through all the matches.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I think I felt, and like you and I talked, I felt it was very Vince McMahon-ish.
Oh yeah.
You're trying to get too much in.
They were
I remember what was his last WrestleMania, one of his last WrestleManias. We literally sat there for 6 hours on the front of the TV
mm-hmm.
because he was trying to get too much in.
Yeah, and you're like, Jesus Christ, what are we doing?
And it was like on a Sunday and it into almost after midnight.
Yep, I remember.
And that's when it was all like, yeah, then they started breaking it up to 2 nights.
Yep.
Too much.
Well, seeing that triple threat match, like, I loved it, and I like, I know Heyman's turning, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure why. To me, I feel like Rollins, I mean, that happens, but I still think Punk should have won. Like,
Yeah.
I think they should have had Punk get the win. And I think what this sets up, like, I'm like you. I think Roman might go away for a little bit again, but I think this sets up like Rollins Roman for the whole year. Like,
Yeah.
I think this is Roman versus Rollins until WrestleMania, and they do the Rollins is the only person that Roman hasn't beat or like hasn't
Yeah.
like walked over. Roman's beat like I think like if you look at like dig into it a little bit, I think Rollins is like the only one that's actually gave Roman like a little bit of a pain, and they've kind of been like a thorn like in his side and all that shit. So it kind of sets up like I wouldn't be surprised if it's for a belt at that
Yeah.
point, and Rollins Roman next year at WrestleMania, and that's if they don't get Rock. Like I said, if that could change if Rock pops back up, but I don't know how that'll work. But I have a feeling that like that's the whole thing with that is I think we're gonna get Rollins Romans over the next like Rollins Roman the next year back and forth.
I think you'll get CM Punk, Seth until about Hell in the Cell.
Yep. And then I think and then the rest of the year you're probably gonna get Roman.
Roman will come back and everything else.
I think Punk though, I won't be shocked if they don't set up Punk Cena.
That doesn't surprise me
Like
either.
if they don't set up, I mean, Rhodes ain't going anywhere. Cody Rhodes is gonna get on with somebody. Like
Yeah.
I really don't want to see him give him the belt back because honest to God, like looking back at it to me, he's had some good matches and stuff, and he's been a good like wrestling like champion.
Yeah.
Like, for all the pay-per-views and shit. He's always there. He's dependable, but he never had any, to me, like, there was never any dominance like Roman had or like any kind of mystique to that title. Like, he was just the guy.
Yeah.
I feel like more people, even if they're 100 years old, you give me, like, people will watch CM Punk and Cena. People will watch Orton and Cena. There's going to be a lot of people that if Orton gets a belt back are going to love it. Like, because Orton's got probably one. I think you're looking at those guys that all got like one good run left in them with it. where they should all get a shot with it. Like they should all get a belt, or get at least one of those two belts. McIntyre's gonna get his. They fucked McIntyre so many times on the belt.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre's gonna end up with a belt somewhere in there too.
I think Drew beats Jay, and that puts his final nail in the coffin when it comes to the bloodline.
Yeah, like ends it all up.
I think that's his final. I put the final nail in the coffin of the bloodline. I got the title. It's done and over with.
Yep.
You know, I feel the same way. I think what intrigued everybody about Cody and what brought Cody in was he was the underdog.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And what everybody loves the underdog.
Yep.
And then the minute he got it,
Yep. And then they were like,
it seemed underwhelming. I
Mhm.
don't, and I'm a lot like how you said. I think he was great. I think he was there, even though he didn't wrestle all the time. But we're to the day and ages they want to save the talent. You know, they don't want him take a chance of getting hurt on
right.
SmackDown or Raw or anything like that. It was like, okay, there was no more bigger heels after the Roman thing. You turn KO heel.
Yeah.
I almost thought maybe instead of turning KO, they should have right ahead and went to Randy. I think that would have been more of a okay. Now there's more of a storyline because there's history.
Yeah. Plus, Randy is a fucking methodical, wonderful heel.
I will say, and as far as anything else, I am a huge Randy Orton guy, and I've always been a huge Randy Orton guy.
Same. I love him.
Uh, I made the comment to somebody. I think Randy Orton, if it wasn't for Cena and Randy having some major injuries, I think Randy would have been the one to break the record.
I can see that.
I think what happened, and I am not a Cena guy by any means. I've never cared for Cena. I thought he was a product of Vince. I thought he was handled a lot of things like Charlotte, and we'll get into it a couple more. And I think it was always okay. So he was kind of that force fed. And you're starting to see that now.
Oh, yeah.
I think people will start. You saw it with Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she doesn't know how to handle the booze.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to turn her heel.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I think that's what sets up Jade and the Bianca feud.
Yeah. That makes sense.
She looked taken back by the booze.
Yeah.
And it was funny because, it started, I think it was really started overseas. And she started to hear more and more.
Yeah.
And then when they came back, it was a lot more booze than there was chairs.
Mm-hmm.
They ate up. I mean, they loved Cody overseas.
Oh, yeah.
He came back. He started to hear a little booze, but it was like between him and Cena on the mic. I will go down and say there's no one going to be better than Cena on the mic.
He's pretty good.
But Cody went toe for toe.
Yeah, like and they deliver their mic skills different. Like they're not like they don't do it like The Rock does. Like that's a different kind of. That's just
charisma.
A different kind of.
That's
but
a whole
like when they
level.
get into like the fiery like back and forth, Cena's always been like him and Cody are very good at that. Like eat your vitamins, say your prayers type. Yeah, shit. They're both really good at it. And they had great promos. The promos were better than the match.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Easily.
But night 2 started off hot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
As much as I love Rhea,
yeah,
I'm not sold. I've not been sold on Bianca since she came and came up. I am a huge Io Sky fan.
She's good.
That girl could just flat out wrestle.
Yeah, she's good.
She has that underdog story too, in a way. Bianca's big, muscular, Rhea's big, muscular, and then little Io. And she has that little underdog, type fight in her. But man, that match was a straight banger.
Oh yeah. And they've got some good options there. So like Io can keep the belt, at some point, it's only a matter of time till Lil Blondie comes back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
She's, she got them little pigtails and that crazy ass. She gonna be as soon as White Six comes back. When they all
Yeah.
get back, she'll pop back up. That would be a good Io Sky matchup. Asuka's gonna come back.
That was what I was gonna say.
Asuka's gonna kill you. They'll have that going on. That's another good one.
You still have Cardi Zane.
Yeah, Zayn will be there. There's some stuff there for her, and then Rhea Ripley's not gonna go away. Like too
No.
over, too good. They might. She had the belt for a long time twice now, but I mean,
Yeah.
you know how it is. The women's they like to give them belts back to them girls for
Yeah.
a while. But yeah, I hated Logan Paul. I fucking hate everything about Logan Paul.
I do
Like
too.
but he's super athletic.
He's.
It's
I thought that match was going to be more of a. I really thought it was going to be probably one of the match of the weekends.
yeah.
It was good, but it just didn't quite. I think, like the whole Karrion Cross thing, I'm not understanding.
I mean, so apparently, speaking of that, we were talking about room shit. So like Karrion Cross, if you ever watched Karrion Cross when he was independent, had bald head, he's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
And a long time ago, the whole point of Karrion Cross originally when he came to like WWE was to set up him and Bray.
Yeah.
So, because that would have been fuck yeah.
Yeah.
And now, then they just kind of didn't know what to do with him. But like now if you've ever seen his social media and stuff,
Yeah.
he's opened up a lot more and he's not just like trying to do the Killer Cross thing.
Yeah.
And from what I read, WWE is like totally loving how much like social media gathering he's gotten. And
Uh-huh.
they're like maybe
thanks to his wife.
yeah,
Too.
and they're like maybe they've got something there. I mean, but the physique's right, the size is there. Like you said, most of the wrestlers nowadays are mid. None of them are gonna, all of the good wrestling or sports entertainment acrobatics, or to help McGall feel better about it, would be all guys in AEW. But that Karrion Cross angle, I think that's them kind of like bringing him into the fold a little bit more, kind of trying to make him. I think he's going to become more of a player. You're trying to push him a little bit finally. And if it's just him and Scarlett, and none of that dumb shit that they've got rid of.
Yeah, they tried doing.
Yeah, no Vince gimmicks where they're sticking him in fucking,
Oh yeah,
outfits from the Beastmaster and shit. All that.
The character type shit.
Yeah, so just let the dude be the dude and see what happens. And fuck, big dude. He's silly match still.
That triple threat match, AJ, it was still good.
Yeah.
I think it goes back to saying is, AJ Styles, what does he have left in him? I know this is kind of his retirement tour as well. He's not been given a chance to really hold one of the big ones.
Not for a long time.
But he's a hell of a wrestler.
They got to set up him and Finn Balor.
Yeah.
You got to do a Bullet Club versus Bullet Club before they leave there. You got to do it.
Intercontinental 4-way match. You didn't like it?
I mean, it's a good match. I don't like Dirty Dom. I think Finn Balor's that's the most wasted talent they have on the entire roster as far as a wrestler goes. Finn Balor I just hate that. Penta's good. I don't know, man. Like,
I'll tell you what.
Braun Breaker's fucking Goldberg 2.0.
He got a lot of his daddy and his uncle in him.
He does too, man. Like, he just reminds me of if you took freaking, I don't know what it is. If you took like an Ultimate Warrior on less cocaine and Goldberg, and then fucking what's that other dude that was there? Feed Me More, Ryback guy.
Oh yeah, Ryback.
If you mix them all together, if they made a love child, Braun Breaker's your guy.
He has got the wrestling ability of his daddy, and he's got the persona of his uncle.
Oh yeah, for
That's
sure, exactly.
he's got a
He's
little
a
bit of
freak.
that. He's a freaking he
Yeah, he's a
really is.
freak.
I feel the same way about Balor. I think he's getting wasted,
God
but
dang, man.
at the same time, I think I called it. I
Oh yeah.
I said Dom was gonna win by it. He was gonna pin Finn, and I
Oh yeah.
said, sure enough, it happened. But I said it sets up the demise of what we'll see of Judgment Day.
Yeah. And I mean, when once
And
Rhea
then
and
you
Dude were
turn,
gone,
yep, you turn Finn Balor straight heel.
yes.
I think we finally get, and then we'll see. I think it's going to happen to Backlash. You're going to get Finn and Dom.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But
For
then
sure.
I think we get the return of his alter ego.
Oh, sign me up.
Yeah.
About time. Long
I think
overdue.
that, and I think what happens, I don't know as much. I mean, you watched Raw and all that stuff too. How many times that little case and face mask or stuff was in the background?
Yep. Yep.
And I kept saying, it's going to come.
Oh yeah.
It's going to come.
Oh yeah.
And that's just Triple H's way of setting things up.
Oh yeah. That's for sure.
And I think at Backlash, I think you probably will see that. I think, we'll see how it plays out tonight, Monday Night Raw. You still have JD's return soon.
Yep.
Carlito is just he's a character.
I spit in the face. Hey man.
I think you see it fall apart.
Oh yeah, they're done. Like
You know, you,
I
you
thought
know,
when Rhea and Priest became Rhea and Priest,
yeah.
the Twin Towers of Terror or whatever.
Like what more is it? Because Liv and Raquel don't have belts
Yeah, they're dumb too. I can't stand
anymore.
it.
I love Liv Morgan though.
Yeah, she's good.
Uh,
Like,
I think her character is great,
yeah,
and I think when she first came in, she was kind of like that. She's a pretty face, underwhelming, but now she's proven she can wrestle too.
yeah. I want her to. I want her to get back to just her and get rid of the whole
Yeah.
Raquel. That's a
Uh, as much as I love her, I think I didn't want to see them put a belt on Becky.
that was stupid.
I mean, I knew it was coming when they knocked Bailey. I thought that was dumb too.
Yeah, she never doesn't have a belt.
Yeah,
When she's wrestling, she has a belt.
she's one of those. She's like now she's falling along that line of Charlotte. Same thing as Bianca's falling into that category.
Yeah.
She always needs to have a belt. I'm
Honestly,
glad they're keeping the belt off Rhea for a while.
yeah. I mean, she's had it. She had it a long time, twice.
I think that's good. I think, uh, I think you give Liv one of those mid card women's titles and let her really build it up.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's going to be hard to put it in. I think there's going to be something with her and Alexa.
Probably.
Why wouldn't it? It's. I think this one left with so many unanswered questions, man. Which leads to, let's see, what other match was there? Was that?
Well, McIntyre and Priest was just what it was. Like,
Yeah.
McIntyre, you knew McIntyre. McIntyre wasn't losing that the minute that The Rock announced that McIntyre's the new face of The Rock's Under Armour
Yeah.
new clothing line. I'm like, there's that. McIntyre's completely over and a bad guy. I'm like, there's another heel that like is completely over. Priest.
The selfies
Yes. See, he does. He's a great heel. He reminds me of Orton. Like,
yeah.
he's got that Orton charisma, like that no one knew was there, and he's wonderful at it. So, like, he'll have title shots. He's going to get his title reign finally. They'll give it to him.
He will.
And then
I think what people forget, man, is he's so overlooked, but during the COVID era, he carried.
yeah,
He carried it.
yeah, He just was a bad time to have it. Dude, he's big as shit. His skill set's pretty good. He's great on the mic.
Yeah.
He's funny as fuck. Like he does everything like you dot all the I like that's a Vince guy. Like
Yeah.
maybe not so much how Triple H is, but that's a Vince guy through and through back in the day. Like that's what when they first released him to go find
Yeah.
himself, I get it. But like now, like it's
He
hard not to
reminds
like
me.
that dude.
I tell you what, who reminds me a lot of was Triple H in his heyday.
Exactly. That's exactly what
Yeah.
he is. It's the same thing.
You know,
Yeah.
Damien will come back.
Oh
You
yeah.
know,
He's a
I
modern day Undertaker, closest thing they got now with Bray being gone, and they don't have anything like that anymore.
then of course, then it brings us to Cena and Cody.
I don't always kick out of 4 attitude adjustments, but when I do, my name's Cody
I
Rhodes.
lose, I lose because Travis Scott
Yeah, of all people,
gets
Travis
involved,
Scott,
and I get head to head with the belt.
because The Rock's in
I
Hawaii
had
just living his best life. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? And
I
then I was
had
waiting for Rollins or
I was like,
Roman or Punk or Orton or anybody else. I'm like, somebody's going to come out here because I saw it going 2 ways. I had a feeling that Cena was going to win. Like I'm like, they're not
yeah,
giving the minute Elimination Chamber happened, after the
uh-huh.
whole after the Rumble and Cena had that they did that press setup.
Hmm.
I'm like, oh dude, Cena's winning his 17th belt. This is over with. We know this. Cody's, and like Cody's, like I said, Cody's run's been good overseas and shit, like you said, but like it just hasn't been, you know, holy
He,
shit. Like Roman had 3 years of holy fuck with everybody,
yeah,
like just straight across. Now,
but
how much of that was Heyman? Mm,
I think it came down to is you know Roman was kind of probably going that way till he teamed up with Heyman,
yeah,
and they brought the bloodline story
yeah. Plus, let Heyman talk. Less talking to
in.
Roman's better.
Yeah,
Just
I
be back.
think what happened, and then I sat there too, and you added Sami Zayn into that mix,
It was perfect.
and
It's perfect.
was did stuff. They kept it, and I think it happened with Cody, and it was okay. Like, where do we go?
It's
I
got to be.
think
You
you
just got to have a heel
had
turn.
Roman had such a high heel that once Cody overcame that, it's like anything else when you have all that adrenaline rush and then you
Yeah,
finally sets it out and you're like,
yeah,
oh shit, what else is there to do?
yeah. I mean, and that was the thing. Like when
And
Roman turned heel originally, because he
yeah,
was, he was Vince's guy.
oh yeah,
It was so bad. I remember it was so bad that he won that triple threat with like I don't even remember. It was fucking Braun Strowman and somebody,
yeah,
and they even sent Rock back to try to save him. Then and he got booed out of the ring.
yeah.
And then the minute he
Or
turned heel,
when he
yeah,
won the Royal Rumble and they booed the hell out
yeah.
of him there.
And the minute he
Yeah,
turned heel, like, and like, but you look KO, another one. KO's always a heel.
yeah,
He's never truly a good guy, and you love him for
yeah.
it. Like you're
When
like
he
this
is,
dude,
he turns.
yeah.
Yeah,
And just that's what Rhodes like. But then the scene like Travis Scott, I'm like, come on, man, what the fuck are we doing? I'm like, it just
but it, I think what it's true though is Cena made the comment is I am here to ruin wrestling. And
yeah.
he did that.
Oh yeah,
I think
Cena's actually a
either
great heel
A,
too.
the Rock is now playing the ultimate heel because he didn't show.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's I forgot who I heard this on another podcast they were talking about. Oh God, I forgot the name of it. And they had said, you mean to tell me that you couldn't get yourself out of making some damn Target commercials about your your
Tui.
yeah.
Hey.
Like you couldn't find time to yeah. You mean to tell me you couldn't find sometime, some way to land in Vegas, make an appearance, turn around and leave?
Right.
Like, come on.
I'm starting to wonder though if they got like a stable building. Like, because Rollins dropped the now I'm gonna do what's best for business.
Yep.
That's a Rock thing.
Yep.
Like Rock was on the best for business. They kind
That
of had
whole
that subtle. Then
corporation.
yeah, and you're like, Cena's on it already.
But are we ever going to see Rock Roman?
I honestly, I think what's hurting it is that Roman had an interview during WrestleMania week that sounded like I don't think Roman's sticking around very much longer. I think
No.
we got like 2-3 years of Roman left, and
He
he's going to go.
said, is from last thing I read, he said, I my contract's coming up. And he goes, I have one, maybe two.
Yeah, so he's Roman to be, and it's not like he doesn't have a hookup to get into Hollywood.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they don't, like I said, if they set up Rollins Roman all next year for WrestleMania,
He's gone.
yeah. But again, like with all of these, like the older fellas, Roman still wrestles pretty solid, but predictable, 5 moves. What you run
My
into, Punk, Orton, all of those guys, you have to have somebody in that match with all of them that can
yeah.
kind of carry them. Like Cena had
That's
to have
that what was hard.
last night.
That's what was hard to watch about that match
Yeah,
too.
because
Because
you
I didn't
knew it
think
was here.
Cena looked old and
Mm-hmm.
slow. And I understand. Oh, he was getting outside and he was doing it. And I get all that, but Roman can still go.
Yeah,
Cena, you could tell it was hard to watch.
yeah. See,
And I think what
Punk can
happens
go.
is you're so the crowd was probably so torn because you had so many kids and guys younger grew up and Cena was the man.
And now they're taking their sons to see WrestleMania to see, yeah.
To see that, where you have guys like yourself, myself, we came up where Steve Austin was the man.
Mm-hmm.
Cena was the afterthought.
Yep.
I
Raptor Cena.
all that. Ric Flair is still,
Yep.
the GOAT to me. I mean, it's Steve Austin is still the GOAT to me. Cena
Yeah.
is up there, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not saying what he didn't do for business. And my take is this, and I said it to you. I think what happened was Ric Flair was 16-time champion, but it wasn't all in WWE.
Nope.
A lot of his titles were won in NWA
Yep.
and WCW and a couple in WWE.
Yeah.
WWE wanted a guy who was their guy. Minus Orton, the next one in line was Cena.
Yeah.
Rock was never going to get there. Stone Cold was never going to get there. The only two that are left that would have been able to break it would have been Randy or Cena.
Yep.
Cena's closer, Randy because of injuries.
Yeah.
I think that's why you see it.
Oh, I agree.
I think you do need it set up, and I think it will start coming to play because where's Backlash at? St. Louis.
Yep.
You have to start building up Cena
Exactly.
versus Orton.
Yep.
And I think the problem people are going to start to have with Cena is they started to have it with Roman there at the end is he's never going to be there.
Right. Exactly. That's the thing is they want somebody. That's where I said that. See, that's what kept Cody. To me, that's what kept Cody like. That was the best part of his run as he showed up.
Yeah.
You're not Roman's never there anymore. And that's the thing is like if Rollins ends up with a belt,
yeah,
it makes sense because outside of being injured,
yeah,
Rollins is never not there. He's always there.
Yeah, he's always working.
And I'll give CM Punk credit since he's been back. At his age, he's there every fucking week. He's there. He's at everything they tell. There's not any opting out. He's at everything.
I
Cena
think
can't
though
be
what
there. Orton's been there at everything when he hadn't been.
yeah.
Yeah, you got to set it up with somebody that's going to be, there, a presence for the new.
Now we're in this, and I think I believe this is what truly hurt um Cody is now we're in this after WrestleMania before SummerSlam is where's the storyline go because we have the draft coming up.
Yep.
And that's what killed a lot of the storyline with I think Cody.
Yeah.
Because it's like where do you go? And then they didn't give him anything right away because they were like, okay, who's gonna land where?
Yeah. Well, and
I think
Netflix had so many demands for Raw too. Like Roman had to be on Raw.
yep.
Insisted. Punk. They were like, what do we do with Punk now that Punk's back? They wanted every major draw, like
Yeah.
and don't get me wrong, Cody's a draw, but he ain't Roman and he ain't Punk, and he's there's even as the title, even having the belt on him, they're like, yeah, so it sets up who do you feud with because we have to put all these guys on Netflix for billions of dollars. It's just
Yeah.
we're gonna do what they want.
Yeah.
So that leaves
I
SmackDown, and
think
it's kind of
I think you do. I think you bring part of me goes, and I know they because of Netflix, and I kind of still wish it was on regular TV,
Mhm.
regular cable, the USA or who they did it with. I said, especially like tonight, but I said, I think what's happened is it's lost a lot of its, you know, average fan too, because Netflix. I almost forget it's on.
it's easy to do. Yeah.
It's easy to forget,
Yep.
and it's like I look forward to SmackDown because I know it's on regular TV. I can turn on, watch it, and
Mm-hmm.
and so be it. And Netflix. I almost like it's almost like if you don't have cable but you had Hulu and you wait until the next day.
Right. No. Yeah. I got it.
And that's pretty much when I watch it is the
Mhm.
next day. I don't pay attention to it till Tuesday.
Right.
And it's like, but I want to see it tonight because I'm curious to see, the Monday, after WrestleMania is always
Oh yeah.
big.
We're gonna have
Who
comeback.
comes back? Who
I'm.
makes appearances?
You wanna know
Who
my two?
does this?
You wanna know my two picks?
Who?
Rusev,
Yeah,
Malachi Black.
that's the rumor.
Yep. Because I know well, they're doing the
Well,
Malachi Black thing. They're doing
no,
the
that's not true. Malachi will not.
no.
He'll make it on SmackDown.
Okay. I saw. I kept seeing this little. I'm like the first one
But
I
you also
saw.
gotta realize
Yep. I'm like that's
his
Malachi Black.
well, yeah. He is, and plus that's where wifey is.
Oh, well, that makes sense then. Yeah. So I mean, he's
Yeah,
coming.
uh
I knew
I think you'll
Rusev. I
see
knew they
Rusev.
signed Rusev.
I think we'll see Rusev tonight. I think we possibly see Wyatt Six.
I say they were backstage last night.
Yeah.
So I'm like, they need to they
I
need
think
to make
we're
that
gonna get
go. Like that needs to be something. Those guys are
I think
it's
we
too
get
badass.
some disappearing of people.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think we may see. I mean, well, Cody's going to go away for a while. I think he'll come back to SummerSlam. Um, do I think it'll be for a match? No, but I think some way somehow he gets involved with something that sets his storyline.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Of course, Roman will be gone. I think Punk may be gone maybe for a couple weeks.
I want to see some of the TNA guys keep coming over and challenging them guys.
I
Like they
tell you
had
what,
Moose was on, Hendry was on.
yeah, you have. I think you have some call ups.
Oh, some of the girls like Jordan Grace is coming.
She's a stud.
Yeah, there's a couple of those girls that are
Little what's her name? Oh God, what's her Perez? Is it Perez?
Yep. Then the little one at some point that wears the horns that uses her ass cheeks to beat the.
Oh yeah,
Yep, she'll come up.
yeah. She'll have to lose
She gotta lose the
the
belt
title.
first. Yeah,
She'll have to lose the title. But she said it herself. She'd rather stay in NXT.
yeah. I mean, do you blame her? I mean,
Yeah,
you're working for
Stephanie
Sean.
Van Kier, yeah. Was it Stephanie Van Kerr or something
Yep.
like that?
Yep.
Um, I I was disappointed they didn't use the women's mid card titles. Like Chelsea Green should have been involved.
Right.
She should have had a match. Uh, I thought it would have been nice to see her out there and Alexa come out and challenge. That would have been, you know, a little nice mix up. You know, I think you're going to see, you know, there's going to be a heel turn on uh Valkyria, whatever how you say her name,
Yep. I know what you're talking about.
with Becky. Yeah,
Yep.
I think she'll end up dropping the belt. She'll keep the tag title, but she'll drop the
Yep.
her Intercontinental belt.
Becky will end up with that.
Yeah. Well, I think Bailey,
Or yeah, I can see that.
because I think that got set up because Bailey was jumped and
Yep.
couldn't make it, so we'll see what comes of that.
Right.
Uh, I don't the tag team titles, man. I don't know.
They're just there.
I unify them again,
Yep. They're just there.
and I think what happened is Roman and the Bloodline took the tag titles and they kept them for so long, and they just kind of diminished what they were.
Right.
And now it's like, what do you do? Because are there really some true tag? The true tag teams are in NXT.
Yep.
It's hard.
Yep.
It's. I look at it and go, it is hard to get involved with these tag teams.
Well, see, the other tag teams are in AEW. That's where FTR's at. That's where the Young Guns are. I mean,
you're
about to have Edge and
I know
Christian.
I think we get now we'll see Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax.
Oh yeah.
Because that was feuding before, and
Yeah.
Charlotte got involved, and Nia disappeared for a little bit. I think we get Nia back to feud with Tiffany.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's so many things. I think Asuka makes an appearance.
Oh yeah, she's coming. She's bound to be back. I knew that injury of hers. She was supposed to be back here pretty soon.
I think it's actually going to be Asuka and Io. That's going to be a banger.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Asuka's gonna kill you. I love when they do that.
I think Rhea may disappear for a while. It's just like some of the names up there. They after these losses and it will disappear for a while.
Yep.
I think you'll see a storyline with Dom and Finn. You'll see something with Penta get involved, and which I mean he's gotten a big, huge.
Oh yeah.
Like they love him.
They bought and they bought AAA.
AAA.
You know who their heavyweight champion is, right?
Mm-mm.
Alberto Del Rio. Yeah. Facts.
Well,
so that could it'd be interesting to see how that works out.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yep. Yep, he's their champion.
Everybody was hoping for a Big E return, and it didn't happen.
No. And I know everybody's hoping Lesnar. That's the other thing that you can't replace Lesnar. It's not possible. And
I was going to be honest. And as much as I didn't want to see him, don't care to see him again. He was kind of one of those guys too that it's like God just go out to pasture.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, when there was a point when it was all three of them were down, and it was kind of like nothing.
I was waiting for it.
I was waiting to hear it. I was like, he's coming. This is where he's going to make his appearance right here.
And in a Heyman match,
everybody
that is a Heyman guy, that was the only thing missing. Because I'm like, to make this perfect, what you would have done is you literally would have pulled Heyman. Or you'd have pulled Lesnar, and Lesnar would have came in when they were all down, and that music would have hit, and that place, they would have been like, holy hell. But
But I was, a lot of people's. Was not expecting Joe Hendry with Randy.
I thought
I was. There
we
was
were
so
going to
much.
see Magnus wrestle.
A lot of people were talking about, oh, it's going to be Rusev, it's going to be so and so. I, a lot of people thought maybe Big E was going to
Yep.
get involved in the tag team match,
Nothing.
and I thought, honestly, this is what I thought. If he got involved, I thought it was for him to actually turn to team up with the
Yeah.
New Day.
Yeah.
He was going to actually turn heel himself.
Yep. I could have seen that.
And he never showed.
Yep.
And so I was like, okay. I guess that's what it was last year. And you think of SummerSlam, there was the two big PLEs. There was so much extra.
Oh yeah.
This year, nothing.
No.
Like
Nope.
Travis Scott.
Yep.
A,
Yep.
a rap artist who does shoe collabs with Nike
Yep.
is the best we could come up with.
I was just kind of like, nope.
Like if John Cena and The Rock said they wanted to ruin wrestling, they did their job.
They're doing a good job. Yeah. They're doing a good job.
I still have faith in Triple H telling stories.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think you do. I think what's happened too is all the emphasis has been on Cena and his title reign. I think Jay may get pushed to the side a little bit.
It's possible.
I think he is going to be transitional. But at the same time, I think it's going to be he'll end up, he'll drop into somebody, but I think they'll give him to SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think we'll now. I think a little bit we'll see. They'll keep Jay and I mean, as long as he's over.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think till SummerSlam's a good spot, but and then it's just like, where do they go with that belt? Like, because SmackDown, SmackDown, that leaves you got kind of that's a better place to be as far as that belt goes to me. Like,
Yeah.
it's a better spot because you don't want to be on Raw because that's Rollins and Roman and Punk, and there's just a lot going on Raw. So I mean,
you know what I think we'll see? Jacob and Solo.
I can take that. I'll take some Jacob versus Solo.
I think if it's not built up soon, he'll start building up.
I'm ready for Jacob Solo.
I think you're going to see it for at least SummerSlam.
I would like to see them give Sammy a good run at something, push at something.
Yeah.
I would like to see them bring the other members of the bloodline that could have been members that they had rumored that they signed that aren't showing up.
Not showed up yet.
You have to see if they're there. I'm curious to see what kind of contracts are up. I know a lot of contracts are up in AEW that are starting to end, and I have a feeling they'll. I don't think Ambrose will come back, but I would not put it past them. I would not be shocked. Jericho, if we didn't get a one final Jericho pop up, there's some guys over there that you would never think if they could get MJF over here.
Oh,
it would on the mic. He'd be fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
it'd be.
I look at it. I go. I think that's what leaves. Like we said, the average fan probably going, okay, what's next? Guys like yourself and myself, we kind of see storylines and who we think we'd like to see. And how things have played out previously. I think you're going to see just the way it's been going. I think you will see Jacob and Solo.
Oh yeah, for sure. You got to.
I think you'll get the end of finally. That will be the end of the bloodline.
I love you, Jacob and Solo. I love you, Solo. That's so funny.
And my question is too: does Jimmy get a push?
He just, I mean,
at a mid card. Does he get a chance at a mid card? Does he go after Dom, or does he?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Does he go after one of those, or does eventually
they do brother versus brother again?
Brother versus brother.
They got to do better than the first time.
Oh God.
Yeah, they're gonna do better than that. I don't know, man.
You may see Solo and Jay.
Yeah.
You
But
know, that brother
they
versus
put
other.
too much work into Solo for Solo not to be a part of it.
I think Solo's good.
Yeah. Well, and it's
And he went what 2 years without hearing the boy speak,
yeah.
and then he is good on the mic.
Yeah, I think he was great.
You know, I think he's a great wrestler. I think he kind of is a combination. He doesn't do a lot of aerial stuff, but he's a lot of power, a lot of he sells pretty good. Even though you can always tell when he's about to go over the ropes
Oh yeah. Yeah.
because he always goes sideways and he
Yep.
grabs to go over.
Well, and
But
Gunther and that Ilja Dragunov guy when he gets back,
yeah,
that's Gunther and him out of the gate. Like that's guaranteed.
yeah,
But
I think you get eventually. They talked about Gunther and because
Gunther,
there's
Gunther,
the
Gunther.
old Goldberg who gets one more retirement match, I guess, and
They better
that was
not bring
supposed to.
him out to Wrestle Cena. Jesus Christ.
I I I think what's left me is it's unanswered questions.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
I
kind of.
give it if I was to grade it, I'd give it about a C plus.
Yeah. Yeah.
B minus, not C plus.
Yeah. I put it up there as one of the worst WrestleManias in the last 7 years.
Yeah,
That was terrible.
I
Like
think
honestly.
after last year, we definitely took some steps back.
Yeah. Last year was awesome.
I'm curious to see now where storylines go, where people get drafted to what show, what happens to certain titles. You know, I almost liked it better when you unified the tag team titles and went to both shows.
Yeah. I
Unify them
if you're gonna even have
that way.
them, you might as well do that.
Yeah, you know, I like the women's mid card titles. I think they need to do something different with those. I think they honestly need to get rid of the women's tag team division
It's
belts
pretty
altogether.
shitty. It's pretty shitty.
They're not. Yeah, there's nothing they can. There's just horrible.
It's not good. It's not good.
They were just putting belts on people just to put them on people.
No, agreed. I agree completely.
Two heavyweight titles, two mid card titles. Your women's division is set.
Yeah, it's like here,
But
guys, just another one.
you know, unified the men's. Or I'd like to see. I thought New Day and Street Profits would have been better, but other than that, man, I was underwhelmed. Like I
Yes.
said, I described it.
Yeah,
I felt like I paid for a hooker,
yeah.
and to have a good night, a happy ending. I got drugged and I got robbed.
I sat there and I was like, I watched baseball all week and I'm sitting there and I'm like, it's Easter weekend. Rummy passed away a couple weeks ago. So that's
Yeah,
been tough. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, shit. And I'm like, I guess we got WrestleMania.
yeah,
And then I'm sitting here and I told Ashley, I'm like, after last night when WrestleMania ended, she goes, "Is that it?" Because she doesn't really watch it, but she can tell by
see,
she tuned in and was like, "That's it." And she goes,
yeah,
"At like 9:38." I'm like, "Don't get me fucking started." I'm like, so I sat there for like 10 minutes, like I was laying in bed, and I'm like, "That was awful." That's when I sent you that message. I'm like, "What the hell?" And then I sent today, I sent Canuck, "What the fuck was that?"
yeah.
Because I just
Let's see.
man,
Mine is like you said, Jade Cargill's wardrobe malfunctions. Oh, like, could you not like?
more tape, more tape.
It was like, good lord.
But it's like when
It,
Jackie and Sable wrestled back in the day, man. If they didn't let a titty out, no one was watching it. To be fair, to be, I mean,
I think we may see a lot more crossovers with TNA.
I think we will.
I think now they just like you say acquired AAA. I think you're going to have a true luchador. You
Back to
know,
the
true what it is.
yeah.
I think the acquire of Ray Phoenix has been good. I think, as much as I love Rey Mysterio, it's time to let him go,
Yeah,
let him ride to the sunset.
get that legend
You know,
stuff
it,
like yeah,
yeah, it's hard, man, because it's like I do have to agree with Cena. There's always that
right.
one more match. You know, comical part of the night, and I haven't read much more, but goddamn it, Steve
That
Austin
was awesome.
crashing to the barricade.
Smoked a lady.
Man calls WWE a nice little lawsuit. We
Oh,
won't.
what's his name?
But he was smart though, because he started pounding bears after.
Oh
So
yeah.
even if he was thinking prior,
When he hit the thing, you saw him and he checked on the lady, and then I guess when he was up in the ring, Nick Khan went over and checked on her.
checked
So it
out
must
it
have been pretty
too.
bad. Well, it'll be interesting to see with wrestling too, like how it goes and shapes up with UFC and ESPN's contract ending. If the UFC goes to Netflix,
Oh yeah, it will.
then you got Saturday nights and Sunday nights just became. I mean, granted, they're all owned by the same entity now. That
Yeah,
they're going to be like, well, we're gonna hit you with Patty the Batty and whoever
I
on
mean,
Saturday night, and then you're going to get
how how many times did they show Dana White?
a lot. Oh yeah, they were making sure everybody understood how that all works. You're like Dana's,
You know,
and good for them,
I
man. Sports industry, it's a juggernaut. It's the only other thing,
it is that combat sports and
Yep.
wrestling entertainment, man. It's
Yeah, because I mean, you ain't, you got the big four, so it does its thing for the other side of it. If you're not into any of the big four, so
yeah,
I mean, I'm not, I watch a little UFC. I don't watch it near as much as I used to, but if it gets on Netflix, I'll watch it a lot more.
yeah. That's what I was talking to my brother-in-law yesterday at Easter, and I said, I kind of lost a lot of. I used to follow UFC loyally, and I've lost a lot of, you know, what's going on with it because
Yep.
I said I got, you know, don't want to pay for the fights, and you see the mid card or the mid card belts on ESPN, then
Yep.
it's like I couldn't
$100.
tell you because a lot of the guys I really liked and watch have
Yep.
retired or they
Yep.
walked away from it, and
Now all
I
the
just
now
kind of
all the new guys look just like the other guy, and they're all the same
yeah,
weights, and they're all from the same place.
same places. Uh, which is, a lot of people, it's still big.
Hmm.
Uh, but, with them under, TKO's, sports and, like I said, I kept saying, I was like, God damn it. They talk about it, keep showing Dana White
Oh yeah,
every
a
other,
lot,
a
a
lot.
lot. Yep.
Uh, Now, it surprised me wasn't, did see a lot of celebrities that I thought I would see.
Yeah. Kittle.
Uh, George Kittle,
Saw Kittle
he
too
was
many
out
times.
there.
Too many times.
you
I don't
know,
like George.
uh, he's always at these big old PLE events.
Yep. I mean,
Had a Quavo sighting and what's his name? Kill Tony was there.
Ice Cube's his son. It's always there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did.
Vanessa
She's a
Hudgens was there.
yeah, she's a diehard wrestling fan.
Yeah, her and her husband.
Yep.
And he's out there throwing gas in the majors.
Right. God damn. Oh, the majors, the majors, man. Royals.
I am anxious. Today is we'll see what's going to happen. What leads up to SummerSlam. But
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
other than that, what any other takes that you have with WrestleMania 41?
No, I don't have nothing else about it, man. Like I just better get better soon, or I'll be back to watching the fucking Blue Jays and the goddamn fucking whoever, the
Well,
Nationals at 7 o'clock on a Monday night on MLB Network.
well,
Which
I tell you what, it's better than watching the Kansas City Royals right now because they cannot
oh,
bat over 200. They're barely over 200 as a team. So
shout out, man. They finally put Melendez down where he went. Put him back down there. They just no, nope. And then Soto
But
with the dynamite drop-ins and drop-ins, they're pitching me different without Aaron Judge behind me. What? Fucking. And all of a sudden, Paul Skeens is hittable.
yeah.
Shocker.
Hey, and after the last episode, Rafael Devers is woken up.
Yeah, I think you know
He must have heard
we did
us.
some good voodoo there. We did some voodoo there. And then, and ironically enough, Alex Bregman brought into play an infield position to minimize errors and leads the team in errors.
Yeah.
Which is, you're like, man, that's the only thing wrong with that team right now, man. They can't fucking field the ball.
Hey, Bobby Witt is batting 300 again.
All day. Him and Aaron Judge, if you go to the American League, you just look up and you look for Bobby and Aaron Judge and you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Just bad motherfucker. Like, they're just bad. Everybody else, like, it's just not. The Padres are good. Tatis Jr.
Dodgers had a 6-game losing streak.
Tatis is, man.
One more thing, baseball related. I know this was a WrestleMania episode. I will have to say, last year after my Jayhawks swept your TCU Horned Frogs in a series, they returned the favor this year.
Kindly. They're playing a lot better. They caught them while they're pretty hot. TCU's been on a pretty good little run. Caught them there. They haven't been great all year, but I mean, they're still pretty scrappy. They got some decent pitching, and then they've been on a pretty good heater lately. So I was like, I saw that and was like, yeah.
But other than that, man, listen, we got to go talk about Caps. What you got?
Oh, that's the I think it's Lake County Captains. I'm pretty sure that's where Travis Bazana's at right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw it and was like, ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Had a nice little cat man with a bat, and I'm like, yeah, that's not bad. I had to add
I went with the old, well, not really old school. The Seattle Mariners brings back the Ken Griffey vibes for me.
Oh yeah, dude. Mariners hats are just sick.
Last episode I went with the Ken Griffey hat.
Yep.
So this one I went with the Ken Griffey vibe.
Nothing wrong with
it. Man, other than that, we got, like I said, baseball's now picking up steam. Teams playing WrestleMania. I was lackluster. Yeah.
Next time we get on here, you're gonna hear my fucking rant about fastball counts that I shared on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like my opinion on that, since now high school baseball is in full effect, and what I've had to witness on 2A baseball and 3A baseball obviously are much different than 5A and 6A. But what I've seen, it'll take an episode just for me to shut up. Probably. Like,
well, we'll hit that next episode. Baseball season full effect. But man, I ain't got anything else, man. If you ain't got anything else, we're out of here.
Later, boys.